Can you raise your consciousness without money? Someone asked this question on one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, and I was like, I need to make a whole YouTube video about it because I saw people answering the question in a very black or white way, yes or no, right? However, it's a very multidimensional question. Just like everything in this reality, everything is multidimensional. We are multidimensional. There's infinite layers and infinite avenues and infinite perspectives that we all have. But I want to talk to you about this because my answer to this question is no and also yes. So in this video, I want to dive into the deeper layers with you and explore this topic, because if you are someone who's on this spiritual path, if you're someone who's on the path of healing and awakening and remembering the truth of who you are, this video is probably for you, because it'll really help you to understand the pieces that are still in the way for you in order for you to expand your consciousness more, if that's something that you are interested in. So first of all, hi, welcome or welcome back if you're coming back or if it's your first time here. My name is Hannah. I'm an intuitive chakra healer, energy weaver, and somatic guide. I love talking about reality, about our experiences in a multidimensional way. Because if it's not your first time, you know that I'm all about the chakras. And I love working with the chakras because those 7 chakras, there's way more than 7, but those 7 chakras, all of our human experience, our entire human experience is within those 7 chakras. And today, the topic that we're going to dive into, which is, can you raise your consciousness without money, is I want to speak to you in this language, in a multidimensional way. The chakras are multidimensional portals that are within our bodies. And it's the portals, the access to all of the layers of our being, all of the layers of who we are. We have many, many, many bodies and many layers because we are multidimensional beings. And the chakras are the portals, the access point to all of these layers. And just to give you 3 examples that are really common for layers: energetic body, chakras, meridians, aura. We get the subtle body, which within it we have emotional body, mental body, and all of our senses. And then the last layer, the physical layer, the physical body, bones, the structure, the muscles, the physical. So the physical layer, our physical body, is the last layer. It's the one that we're seeing first, but it's actually the last layer. The first layer would be the energetic. So whatever is happening on the energetic layer is projecting into the physical. So talking about physical illnesses, diseases, injuries, mental or emotional matters such as anxiety, depression, all of these are symptoms that are manifesting from an energy that is out of alignment, some energy that is out of balance that then causing those symptoms. I go way more in depth about it in some of my other videos, so I'm inviting you to watch some of my other videos because I love talking about these topics. But first of all, I want to give you the understanding of, like I said, everything in our reality is manifesting within our chakras, including our relationship to money and money itself. What is money? Money is a neutral energy, okay? Money is a neutral energy. It's a neutral flow of energy that is actually a part of us. So we have a lot of different parts of us. We have the psychological parts of us. We have the cells that are a part of us. We have our disease that are a part of us. We have our organs that are a part of us, our body parts that are a part of us. But if we're looking a little bit outward, a little bit external, these trees outside are a part of me. The earth is a part of me. My ancestors are a part of me. Extraterrestrial beings are a part of me. Animals are a part of me, right? Because if we're talking about the one consciousness, everything in this one consciousness is a part of me because we are all one. It's just when we are going down the layers all the way to the physical body, then it feels like we're separated because we are in one body, but really we are actually connected to everything. everything in the universe. So if we're talking about money, over here, we got the root chakra, the first energy center in the base of our spine, red in color. This is the energy center that is associated with safety, security, stability, groundedness, belonging, survival needs. So I actually made a whole YouTube video just diving into the root chakra. So after you finish watching this video, you can watch the video above if you want to dive into the root chakra, because let me tell you a secret, those two, the root and sacral, really all of them, but those two specifically, are totally being hijacked. Just from us being humans on planet Earth, innocently, those are two are being hijacked, because the root chakra related to all the groups that we came from. Religion, race, culture, country we came from, gender, etc., right? So there's a lot that we are encoding here when we're just initially just being created inside of our mother's womb. That's when we start to encode this information here. And there's a lot of information that we're encoding here. So when we're talking about money specifically, the idea of security as well as financial security lays inside this energy center. However, when we're talking about our relationship to money, it's the sacral, because the sacral is our relational chakra. It's our relationship to everything is here. Our one-on-one relationships with our parents. This is where around 18 months to 4 years old, this one is coming online, when we start to understand that there's me and there's mom, there's me and there's dad, right? So this is when the individuation process starts to happen. And so in this relational chakra, it's our relationship to the earth, our relationship to God, source, universe, our relationship to our parents, our relationship to food, our relationship to money, our relationship to the elements, our relationships. One-on-one relationships. So this is where our relationship with money is kind of being manifest. So it could be a little bit confusing, because sometimes people think of the chakras as every chakra is separate. What I will tell you about this is every chakra has very specific, unique characteristics and very specific, unique job. This energy center and this energy center have completely different jobs. They're not the same at all. However, they're all connected. They're not separated. So when something is out of balance here, it's automatically going to impact everything else. Every little movement impacts the entire tree, because they're all connected. So this is when we talk about financial security. This is where we talk about relationship to money. And the solar plexus, the third energy center, it's all about our sense of self, who we are in the world, our identity, how we see ourselves, how we walk around in the world. So this is also self-worth, self-esteem, and our value. And so with this one, there's also a lot of entanglements with the concept of money, because a lot of us, and we live in a society where we are told that if you have a lot of money, then you are worthy. If you have a lot of money, you are more, right? You are better, right? That's what we're being told. It's not necessarily true. It is not true, actually. Okay, but that's what we're being told, and that's a belief system that a lot of us are carrying on a very, very, very deep energetic level within our chakras. So there's a lot of value and self-worth associated with money. So those main three energy centers are very much related to money. Why mainly those three? Because those three are the energy center that is associated with physical body, with this physical world, with this physical reality that we live on in planet Earth. And money is a concept, an idea that we have in the physical world, in this 3D reality on planet Earth. That's why money usually, when we have some imbalances around money, it's usually going to go to those three energy centers. Now, when we're talking about expanding consciousness, we're talking about crown chakra, third eye, right? We want to expand our perception, expand our consciousness. Consciousness is related to our crown chakra. Third eye related to the ability to see the truth, to see beyond illusion. Now you may ask me a great question here, Hannah, well, if money is over here and expanding consciousness is over here, they're not related. They're separated, right? Well, first of all, remember, I said they're all connected, they're not separated. So if you have some entanglement, some programming, some trauma, some belief systems around money, it's going to impact the entire building. Especially because belief systems and attachments are usually also going to impact those two. But even if it wasn't, they're all connected. They're all related. It's like a one tree. If one thing in the tree is in a certain way, it's going to impact the entire tree. So here's something I want you to take with you and hear me out on this, okay? This is going to be very important, so I really want you to be present with me here. And I'm also inviting you to really feel into your body, what feels true in your body and in your soul. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't resonate, okay? I'm not here to tell you what is true. I'm here to share this and how I'm seeing this and how I'm understanding the chakras in reality. And you can take or leave whatever resonate or whatever not, okay? So a lot of people in spiritual communities especially, are people who are focused. They have a lot of focus on expanding consciousness. A lot of the time what we're seeing is hyper focus on upper chakras, right? So in a lot of spiritual communities, we see like, oh, I want to open my third eye. I want to be connected to my psychic abilities, and I want to like be able to see everything, to be able to see more, right? So this is a phenomenon that does happen. Okay, there's a lot of people that do it. Okay, so this is what we're saying. Yes, you can expand your consciousness without money, right? And you can focus on your crown and your third eye. You can do it. However, when you're just focusing here, you are kind of like, it's not embodied. So imagine like you are having all this consciousness and all these like spiritual insights and downloads and gifts, but you're also connected through your chakras, through your axis mundi, through your tree of life, through your central pillar of light, through all of it, all the way through your physical body, all the way into the earth. That's, to me, true spirituality. To me, true spirituality is where you get to embody it in every cell of your body, when you get to bring it down to planet Earth, where you get to anchor it on the planet. This is how, if you're someone who's truly spiritual, and if you're someone that is like wanting to expand your consciousness, the way that you can really, really, really be supportive with your personal consciousness and like the spirituality that you have for yourself is to anchor it down to the planet. Because especially at this time, we need rootedness. We need to ground all of it down into the planet. Now, why do we see this phenomena that most people, a lot of people that are hyper focused on spiritual download and like spiritual, like expanding consciousness, they're not really down, like working on their lower chakras or bringing it down to earth? Why do we see that? The reason why is because most of the time, the reason why we're seeing it is because the work here is very painful. Like, to bring this down to here, to density, to this most dense energy center, to bring it down through the body without bypassing, takes a lot of really uncomfortable work. It takes you required to be with your shadows, look into your shadows' eyes. It requires you to feel all of your feelings, not just like, love and light, but really feeling your shame, feeling your grief, feeling your rage. It requires you to really bring it down and embody it. And that's why a lot of people don't want to do this work, because it's very, very uncomfortable. However, when we're talking about can you expand your consciousness without having money, the way I see it, again, this is not black or white, right? Because the way I'm seeing it, if you have struggles with money, you're struggling to make money, you're struggling to keep money with you, or even you have a lot of money, but you have still some scarcity and fears around money, then what does it come to show? It comes to show that something here is out of balance. Something here is out of alignment. And guess what? When something here is out of alignment, this is very limited to the amount of this can open. Unless, a lot of people will see in very extreme cases, so this is not to scare anyone, but this is a phenomenon that's happened where people go through psychosis, where people go through spiritual emergency in that way. It's because they're so open here, but they're not grounded. They're not rooted down through their like lower chakras. They're not rooted down into the earth through their bodies. So this is a phenomenon that I actually hear about it now more than ever, because a lot of people have so much spiritual awakening right now this is opens up, but they don't know how to ground it down. They don't have the tools. No one, like, they don't know where to go. And a lot of places where people teach it, they focus on here and they're not focusing on here. In order to have balance, we really have to focus on all of the building in the entire tree. And if anything, you want to focus more on the lower chakras. You want to focus on the root first, because think of a tree. The roots of the tree are literally holding the entire tree. So if your roots are not strong enough, you have a wobbly tree. If the foundation of the building is not solid, it's going to wobble and it can fall and break, right? So it's like the same thing here. The more you anchor these and you clear these and you open and balance those energy centers, those can open up more. Those can open up more. So for me, in my journey, and I've talked to my star family about it many times, actually. Like, if you want to hear about the story of how I met my star family and how I started to receive all this information from them, I'm inviting you to watch this video above. But even the way that I met my star family, the reason why I initially even wanted to connect with them is because I knew that they're here to show me and teach me about my purpose here on planet Earth. A lot of people, and again, no judgment, there's nothing bad or wrong about it. It's just over here, it's really hard. So we want to disconnect. We want to disconnect, cut it, and just go float in the ethers because it's really nice in the ethers. However, if you came here to the planet Earth, there's a reason why you came here to planet Earth. And we are, we are spirit in a human body, but we are in a human body on this earth. We're part of the earth for a reason at this time. And if we run away from the fact that we are of the earth right now in these bodies, then there's going to be all these issues with money, with relationships, with intimacy, with boundaries, with sexuality, with ethical behaviors with people, in community. Because all of these things that I'm talking about, it's down here. It's not up here. It's down here. And this is also the foundation for us within this human body. So when I talk to my star family, a lot of people want to connect with their star family or their spirit guides because they want to disconnect from Earth. They want something out there to feel connected to, because they don't feel connected here. They don't feel rooted into the earth. They don't feel belong. And again, makes so much sense. This is something I've experienced as well. And my belonging wound is a very deep one. It's like, there's so many layers there. However, when I'm connecting with my star family now, I'm connecting with them to support me to be rooted here on planet Earth. And what they've been saying to me over and over again, the more you go deep inward, the more you go deep into the root and follow the root of the root of the root of the root, whether if it's physically the root chakra or the root of each and every energy center or any sensation that is in the body, the more you follow the root, especially specifically talking about the root chakra, the more you go into the root, the more capacity you have to hold more information here. The deeper you go here into the root, the more capacity you have to hold more information here. Now, if you have some misalignments in those energy centers, specifically around money, the way it's going to show up, it's not just around money, because when you have a misalignment in those energy center, it's going to impact all the other areas that are related to it. So it's going to be out of balance. So for example, it's not either blocked or too open or weak or balanced. It's not that black or white. It can be all at the same time in different aspects, right? So yeah, there is aspects like that it can be balanced. Let's say take the sacral chakra. We have creativity, sexuality, emotions, sensuality, playfulness, intimacy, one-on-one relationships. It's also where we have addictions and codependency. So let's say I have a pattern in relationships that I'm codependent. Let's say my creativity feels pretty open, pretty balanced. But my sexuality feels pretty blocked. And my emotions, I get overwhelmed by emotions, like they consume me, like I get overwhelmed by them. So all of these different aspects that I just shared, you see how one aspect can be too open, one aspect can be blocked, one aspect can be balanced, and one can be weak, right? Basically, what it comes to show is that the energy center is out of balance, and that out of balance energy center is causing all these different symptoms to not be balanced. But when we're going back to the energy center and we're bringing it back to balance, all of these symptoms, sexuality, codependency, we're starting to find our safety within ourselves instead of in someone else, codependency. We're starting to find our value and our worth and our identity within ourselves and not in someone else. We're starting to be able to hold our emotions and not getting overwhelmed by them because we have our inner rooted stability and groundedness and safety within us, because this can also come back to balance. So when this comes back to balance, this also can come back to balance. And then this is also can come back to balance, because this one is not, the sacral, for example, with the example that I gave, it's not trying to overcompensate for the other ones. It's not trying to do its job. It's not trying to do the job of the root or the solar plexus that are next to it, right? It's doing its job, only its job, and then the solar plexus can shine through and do its own job, and then the root can shine through and do its own job, and every single one of them can shine through and do their own job, just how it's supposed to be. And guess what? When you bring all of these elements into balance, you bring all of them back into alignment, you, on the way, by default, you're going to start healing your relationship with money, the belief systems and programmings and traumas you have around money. When you bring it back to balance, by default, really what's going to happen when you bring it back to balance, you're going to start bringing all these entanglements and all these like knots that you have around money, you're going to start bringing it to balance. And then you're going to have more capacity right here, more rootedness. You're going to be more rooted in your body, more connected to the earth. You're going to have more capacity to hold more consciousness, to hold more spiritual downloads, to hold more insights, spiritual insights. So yes, you can expand your consciousness without money, but it's not rooted through your body. And again, it's not so black or white. It's think of it as very, very, very nuanced. It's very multidimensional. So it's not black or white. It's not like, oh no, you can, if you open your crown, you can only do it in the right way when all those are balanced. There's a lot of layers, and every single movement within your energy centers, every single tiny movement is impacting all of them. They're all moving together all the time. But the more you integrate this, the more you have capacity to hold more. So this is how it's connected. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, how you feel about it, how does it land in your body? I would love to hear from you. And also check out the description below. I have a free chakra guide for you to grab that has all the information, all the tools, all the things. I cramped, I mean, not all because it's infinite, it's multidimensional, but I cramped a lot in there for the chakras. So if you feel like you really want to start diving deep into the chakras, inviting you to check it out. I also created a YouTube video of 10 steps of how to start creating sustainable balance within your chakras. So you can watch this video above. I'm also going to link it in the description below. Before you go, I want to say one last thing. If you are a woman and you're feeling the call, you're feeling a draw to either energy weaving. If you don't know what energy weaving is, I'm going to put the video that I made about it here and also in the description below. If you feel a draw to energy weaving, deep chakra work, or stepping into service, whether you're already in service or you want to expand, or if you have done some inner work or had spiritual awakening and feel the call and the draw to step into service, whether if you want to work one-on-one with people, in groups, or working on the planet with grid work, I invite you to check the links in the description below. I would love to interview you for a sacred project I'm currently working on. So the link to book the interview is in the description below. It's going to be very helpful for me for my research, and it's also going to be supportive for you for your path. Most women I interviewed found it to be very clarifying for their path. So inviting you to check in the description below, and I would love to chat with you and hear about your path, about your journey, and also would be happy to answer any question that you may have. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this if you found it helpful, and send it to those who you feel a call to send it to. If you have that calling, I trust that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.